If you're a woman who is no longer available for success that requires you to abandon yourself, today's episode is for you. Welcome back to the Ghislain Maiden podcast, the home of erotic leadership, where your pleasure becomes a pathway to your power and your frequency the key to unlock your millions. I'm Ghislain, and together we'll master the frequencies of success, collapse timelines, and activate your erotic authority so you can lead with undeniable power, influence, and presence. Let's get into today's episode. If you're a woman who's deeply composed but secretly dying inside and just wants to be seen, who is known for her massive capacity, her hard work, the woman who knows how to get shit done. I'm talking to you, the woman who's pushed, who's forced, who's created epic success, but who's done it at the cost of herself. You see, the problem isn't your ambition. I'm not saying to you, don't be ambitious. The problem is that you've created success in the frequency of push, force, and self-sacrifice. Because ultimately, there is a part of your worth that's associated with you needing to prove yourself for you to truly be worthy of the success and of claiming your desires. And any wealth, any influence that is created through this lens is always going to come from a place of lack. Because abundance and true wealth is not created in the frequency of I'm not good enough or force or push. It is created from the frequency of alignment, of flow, of a deep devotion and knowing that you are worthy of all the success, all the influence that you desire, and that you do not have to prove yourself to create that. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't take massive aligned action. I'm not just saying to you, get into alignment with your worthiness and everything will come. That's not how the universe works. It is going to require you to take massive aligned action, but not from a place of I need to take action to prove that I am good enough. You see, creating success through force, push, and with the identity of I need to prove myself to whoever it is you're proving yourself to is costing you. It's costing you your abundance, your magnetism, your vitality, your aliveness. It is the reason that no matter how much you create, you feel dead inside. Because you've done it from self-abandonment and because you've been disconnected from your eroticism and from the frequency of abundance, which doesn't come from push, force, and shove. And this is the work that we do inside Erotic Evolution. We expand your capacity to not create success through force, push, and shove. Replace it with the identity and the knowing that you are the woman who is here to lead. And personally, shedding the identity of hard work has been some of the core work that I've had to do over the past 4 years. You see, I used to pride myself on my ability to get shit done. High achieving women, I see you because I am one. But I was coming from the frequency of a few things. One, I was coming from family who worked really hard to get to where they were. And I admire them from that. Then I was also coming from the frequency of having to prove myself because I am someone who has survived domestic violence. There was this element of when someone told me that I was never going to be anything, I would never go anywhere. I was like, fuck you, you watch me. You watch me go be successful. You watch me create income. You watch me have a fucking epic life. And I did it from I will prove to you that I will be successful. And I was. But it never felt truly fulfilling. Because as long as something requires you to sacrifice your needs, your wants, and your desires, It doesn't matter how much success you create, how much influence you have, if it's coming from a place of self-abandonment, lack of worth, it's never going to feel enough. But when you start to shed that identity of I need to work hard to prove myself, when you shed the societal conditioning, and here's the thing, it's not even your fault. Collectively, we have been conditioned as women to override ourselves and our bodies to create success from a place of misalignment, because the world loves an exhausted woman, because an exhausted woman is malleable. She doesn't speak her mind. She's too fucking tired, right? She doesn't know her worth, so she undercharges. She doesn't understand the importance of rest, so she burns herself out and then flips the table and burns down the very thing that she created, not because the thing that she created was bad, was because she did it from self-sacrifice, because there is a societal conditioning that keeps you disconnected from your most powerful frequency, which is your eroticism. And when you tap into that, when you tap into true abundance, into your erotic energy, you raise your standards, you raise your rates, and your clients and the world around you responds to meet you. When you move from push, force, and become the woman who walks in and knows her worth deeply from an embodied perspective, you command energy. I went to an event the other night, and now whenever I go to an event, I allow people to come to me because I am so tapped into my erotic energy. I know that my frequency is magnetic, and boom, started the event, people coming up and speaking to me without me needing to do a thing. Why? Because I'm tapped into my erotic energy. I know how to command energy. And I walked away from that event with opportunities, not because I pushed, forced, and hustled, but because I embodied the frequency of my eroticism and allowed the opportunities to come to me. And this is how you create success, through alignment, not through force, not through hustle, not through self-sacrifice. So I want you to get really clear. If you're someone who prides yourself on being a hard worker, I see you. I want you to create success. I want you to have influence. I want you to have power. But I want you to get really clear on where does your need to force, push, and strive for your success come from. If this episode was uncomfortable for you in a really activating way, that is your sign that you are no longer available for success that's going to require you to sacrifice yourself. Now, you can either sit on it, or you can take that as a sign to take action and get into the room with other women who are shedding the societal conditioning and the identities and the disconnection from themselves and their bodies, that they must have to work hard to be worthy of the success, the power, and influence, and who are activating their eroticism to tap into that undeniable power and influence. That's your sign to book your call and get into the room with us. Because I know you're a woman who's ready for success that doesn't require you to sacrifice and self-abandon.